Close your eyes and step into the world of an individual. You're born into a world where nights and days are never consistent. You're fed 3 to 5 times a day, but no one is there to nurture you. Not even the numerous others crammed into your living space with you. You grow frantic, scared, and sickly until you are placed into a line to be put to death. Now open your eyes to reality. What I have just described is what an animal experiences daily on factory farms. In a story published by the Herald Journal on November 14, 1995, Emma the cow was loaded onto a trailer and was on her way to a slaughterhouse in Massachusetts. And right when she was next in line for the kill floor, Emily jumped over the gate and made her break for freedom. This would be the start of her journey through a cold Massachusetts winter, alone in the woods and continual avoidance from police and slaughterhouse workers, on the search for her, all with the order to kill her on sight. She survived off foraging for local grass and hay and living through snowy nights. Emma the cow was a fugitive for escaping her death at the slaughterhouse, but she had won her freedom. For 40 days and 40 nights, she would live in the wilderness. Local families kept her residence a secret and would adopt her as their local neighborhood cow, feeding her hay and giving her a barn to live in, which she would spend the rest of her days happy. However, Emily was one of the lucky ones. Next, I will proceed to why you should find these issues credible. Emily's story made her famous, and luckily, she had a happy ending. However, this isn't often the case for most factory farming animals. According to the USDA, on average, most cattle in factory farms die or are slaughtered around 3.5 years of age. In these factories, animals experience tight and closed spaces, inhumane and dirty environments, and generally experience no love or affection from any other living creature. Every animal has the right to individual life and well-being. This is not what animals experience in factory farming. The transportation and slaughter methods create stress, anxiety, and pain for these animals, and is very unethical and inhumane to treat another living creature this way. Not many Americans know of the process and pain their meat goes through before reaching their dinner table. We are not at fault because we had no intent on directly harming another living being. Who is at fault are the companies who are fully aware of every gruesome detail. According to Farm.Daily, the average American consumes about 252 pounds of meat per person. Though eating cheap meat is ingrained into our American society, this way of consumption is not only harming animals, but is also harming us. Today's farms not only abuse their animals, but they are also producing harmful diseases and environmental hazards that are affecting each and every one of us, regardless of whether you consume animal products or not. According to the Union of Concerned Scientists, factory farming or industrial agriculture is, quote, the system of chemically intensive food production developed decades after World War II, featuring enormous single-crop farms and animal production facilities. The production of such meats and intense demand to feed these animals alone with their extensive waste increases the production of greenhouse gases. Not only does this way of production cause negative impacts to the consumer and the environment, it also allows for the easy development of zoonotic diseases through the overcrowding of animals in these uncleanly environments. As published by the National Library of Medicine, quote, over the last 40 years, as the factory farm model has become a global phenomenon, a host of bird flu viruses have emerged in countries with large-scale industrial poultry operations. Bird flu, being a very rare disease, has been made common through this form of chicken harvesting. In an article by the Mayo Clinic, transmission of these diseases from chickens to humans was almost non-existent 25 years ago. Now, serious outbreaks are occurring regularly, more in the past 50 years than ever before in the 20th century. Through uncooked meat and antibiotic-resistant organisms, humans are routinely exposed to lethal disease. This is precisely how COVID-19 started. Animals consumed in a dirty, inhumane environment in close contact to humans where they should have never been in the first place. According to the CDC, the COVID-19 pandemic is thought to have originated in bats and found its way to humans through a wet market, where wildlife species were being sold to humans for consumption in Wuhan, China. Not only does this disease of consumption bring suffering on to animals, it's also destructive to our own health and well-being, with harmful diseases and pollution making their way to our dinner table. However, there's a way to solve all of these issues by simply changing our diet and being productive about what you consume. Keeping in mind where your meal originated can not only solve cruel action towards animals in factory environments, it can also increase your own general well-being and health. Paying attention to the source can increase your own control over the outcome by not buying from these companies that source their meat unethically, will lower the demand of their products and force them to rethink their models of processing. By feeling good about where your food comes from, you not only increase your own happiness, but you could also save the life of countless animals like Emily the cow. Buying from ethically sourced businesses and small farms are a great way of supporting your own community while also ensuring that you're getting your meat and sourcing it from a place that gave an animal a full and fulfilled life outside of a factory environment. By demanding change through your dollar, you can not only force companies to change, but also support legislative action through support and strengthening animal ethical treatment and higher welfare food protections. In this speech, I told you about a personal story of an animal who escaped the factory farming environment, some facts about the scale and brutality of factory farming and how it negatively impacts humans, and lastly, some steps you could take to combat these issues. I would encourage everybody to be more conscientious about where their dinner is sourced. By consuming fewer meat products to striving to know more about the issue can bring a positive impact to yourself, our environment, and fellow living creatures. As humans, we have a responsibility to this planet, and we must ensure its protection instead of causing its demise. Below, I have linked a change.org petition anyone could go support regarding animal treatment, and I would recommend everybody to be an active advocate and stand up for a cause they believe in.